show you my final look for the Ungaro Spring/Summer 2016 brief. What I'm going to do is talk to you about how I got there whilst working with the hair to show you how to recreate the look yourself. My look for this particular show was to keep a centre part in the middle, keep the hair smooth and flat down to the top of the ears, and then from the top of the ears downwards I worked with a wand to give it a little bit of texture through the edge, not a major curl, just a little bit of texture, and then we're going to work more texture up through the ends. As I'm talking, I'm going to go through how to do this yourself at home so that you can follow what we've done and see how you get on. So I'm just going to work with large sections with the wand, not putting in a curl, but just a little bit of a bend through the mid-lengths and ends to start the base to create the texture from. Whilst I'm doing this, I'll explain a little bit about my inspiration and where I got the ideas from for this particular look. I started by researching the house of Emmanuel Ungaro, looking through old videos of past collections that were shot in Paris, looking up all of the old collections that they produced, a lot of Richard Avedon's photography for Emmanuel Ungaro, and taking from it lots of different bits and working out what they stand for, who they designed for, and what the Ungaro woman is today. What I came across whilst I was doing this, that there is quite a theme to what the house seemed to go for when looking at design. They seem to want to stick to natural hair, sort of long textures. There have been a few occasions where the hair has been put up, but more recently it seems to all be soft and down, nice, framing the face, allowing the clothes to do the talking during the show. So I wanted to stick to that kind of thinking and allow the added texture, allow something a little bit different to come through, something that maybe you wouldn't have seen at Ungaro before, but that still ties in with what they would normally produce and what they would normally show, to make sure that I'd understood everything that they do. Once I've toned the hair and we've got this nice bit of texture in there, I'm just going to spray a little bit of hairspray through the ends, just to stiffen it up a little bit before we move on to the next bit. And then it's quite straightforward. And again, taking large sections and just backcombing and just teasing the hair up to the midway point, to just above the ears. Keeping everything else flat on the top, that's in front of the ear, above the ear even. And just adding all of that texture to the bottom. I'm going to do this all the way around, so at the back of the head as well. And then once we've got this texture in here, we can start to manipulate it to make it fall into shape. I've found that it's important, whilst doing this, to keep the ends of the hair straighter, because it gives you a little bit more to play with, and you can tweak it, squeeze it, and ruffle it up, and give it more texture by keeping those ends straighter. Shine spray. This is the Kenny Dry Oil Micro Mist, and all this is going to do is just smooth down any frizzy bits that we might find on the top, or any flyaways. Just give it a nice soft shiny edge. And then we've got more hairspray. And now I'm just going to scrunch and twist the ends so that we bring all of the texture of the layers out, so that we get a nice kind of full look through the mid-lengths and ends and anything below the ear. Just keep coming back, just to flatten that down again to the ear. I decided to bring the shape at the back into more of a V, just to give it a little bit more of interest, really. I'm going to spin the chair around and show you that now. So keeping everything below nice and textured and full, keeping the root flat to keep that down over the crown. And it's just about creating as much texture as you possibly can through the ends. Obviously, you can wear toned down versions of this just by creating a little bit of texture, just keeping the hair straighter, scrunching the ends, or just putting one through and scrunching some of the ends. It will give you the same kind of feel. Make sure that it's all framing your face nicely. And then we're just going to kick out the little bits that do frame the face so that they're just kind of away from the face. And the final part, loads more hairspray just to make it all stay in. Keep that top nice and flat, and then allow the texture to come out to the ends. And that is my final 60s inspired Ungaro look for spring summer 2016.